this video contains very bad stuff of Naruto. This video also contains the cruelty of human nature. So if you guys detest that, please don't click on. Please exit the video right now. Please don't have an ego like Sasuke Uchiha, who is jealous of Naruto's just surpassing him and goes to Orochimaru to have his ass licked. Please, you have been warned. What's up, Motor Brats? It's Spiritual Guardian and welcome to the finale of What If Naruto Had Immortality, Part 6. This part would cover the War arc as well as the Boruto saga, and we would complete it with a bang. Naruto being alone. Just a spoiler alert, Naruto will be alone, in the end of the story, but you wanna see how I made it. Anyways, this series has received a lot of love, and this is the first time I've completed any series like fully. I mean, I've completed the What If Sage Mode Naruto What If, and What If I haven't completed the What If Naruto can pass into the Sage Mode, and What If Obito gave Naruto's Sharingan. I haven't still completed it, but I think it's gonna be useful, and as well as I have made some one shots here and there, that being what if Itachi gives Naruto Shisuyai and stuff like that. But this is like the 6-part series, and honestly this is the longest series in my channel for any part. Yeah, I think this is the fucking longest series in my channel, 6 parts. Oh my god. But yeah, that's it. This part is over, and the next What If is gonna be coming soon. Be ready for that. But enough of the intro. Without any further ado, let's get watching. So the story will start off with Naruto getting KCM 1, KCM 2, and as well as the memories of both Kushina and Minato, meaning he would also get their skills, meaning Naruto would have access to Flying Raijin. So Naruto and Killer Bee would make a plan to escape the seal that they have been had. So the Hokages made a seal for them, so they couldn't escape. But Naruto and Killer Bee would destroy it. Naruto would destroy it with his Rasengan, and both would run. After that, they would meet the 5th Hokage and the 4th Raikage, where the 4th Raikage would not want Naruto and Killer Bee to go. But instead of Naruto doing the stupid talk no jutsu, Naruto would just outspeed 4th Hokage to the shock of both. Killer Bee, Tsunade and Raikage. Now Naruto's base form is as powerful as KCM 1. By the way, I just want to say that Naruto's full power, not right now, Naruto's base form is KCM 1. Anyway, so Naruto, after outspeeding the 4th Raikage, he would run away with the Killer Bee, and then he would activate Sage Mode, where he would sense many evil thoughts, because his sensory ability is that high, as well as Kurama, him and Kurama merging together, causing him to get the negative emotion sensing ability. Then he would use the Shadow Clone Jutsu, which would be added with Sage Mode, and he would spread it all across the battlefield. And Naruto's Sage Mode power would be a little bit, you could say, a little bit weaker than KCM 2 Naruto, by the way. Now, due to all these clones absorbing nature energy which is in the battlefield, Naruto is slowly getting stronger by the second. So if you guys don't know what the hell is happening over here, go and watch my What If Naruto could passively absorb nature energy. You will understand what I'm trying to say. Anyways, Naruto and his clones would completely surround the battlefield, turning the tide of the battle from the Akatsuki side to the Alliance side. Now Kabuto, due to him being a lot stronger than in canon, the reanimation summons as well as his Zetsus are a lot stronger, but that doesn't really so the losses are a lot higher. but still Naruto coming in the battlefield, the tide would turn into the alliance favor. And due to Naruto just Rasenganing like every single Jutsus he meets, more or less every single Jutsus he meets, he also absorbs their nature energy, which is like spreading in the air. Him getting good say, but that really doesn't matter. Anyways, Naruto, then a clone of Naruto, more by the way, the clone of Naruto comes between the fight between Temari's group and the third Raikage, and Naruto versus the third Raikage would happen, with Naruto completely demolishing the third Raikage, because Naruto is stronger and faster than what the third Raikage was, and he's like faster and stronger than in canon, by the way. And Naruto would still use the same plan that he did in canon, defeating the third Raikage and helping and putting the seal on it. After that, he would go and meet Gaara, and Gaara is, by the way, the fifth Kazekage after the whole Kazekage retrieval arc, because the village decided that Gaara should be the new Kazekage, because the Kazekage was dead, and Baki, the guy who was their sensei, the team Gaara sensei, yeah, he was the Kazekage for 3 years, but now Gaara became the 6th Kazekage, and he was there during the Kage summit, so he knows. Anyways, Naruto helps Gaara defeating the other reanimations, but that's when Madara appears. Now let's go to the canon. Now let's go to the real Naruto, who with Killer Bee is fighting Itachi and Nagato. While fighting Itachi and Nagato, Itachi would use his Mangekyo Sharingan, which would activate the crow inside of Naruto, and it would come out, release Itachi from his Genjutsu, and both him and Naruto, Killer Bee and Itachi would tag team Nagato and kill him. And after that, Itachi would decide to fight Kabuto, and Naruto would use his flying Raijin for the first time to send a shadow clone to bring in Sasuke. Now Sasuke would come in, and after seeing Itachi, he would go and ask what happened, and after Naruto explaining what is going to happen, he would agree to go with Itachi not really wanting to go, but Sasuke would force himself on him. And yeah, Naruto and Itachi go, Sasuke and Itachi go and find Kabuto. Anyways, let's continue. Then after that, Naruto and Killer Bee would fight the Jinchurikis, which would result in Obito coming, and Naruto and Obito would also fight, and that would lead into Guy and Kakashi also coming, as well as the Biju being released. And the Biju would do the whole Biju Dama, with Kakashi almost using his Kamui, but Naruto would unlock his use his KCM1 for the first time, destroying all of the things. Now let's go to the clone Naruto. That Naruto would fight. Now let's go to the clone Naruto, which would be fighting Madara. That Naruto would be fighting Madara, and equally actually going KCM 2 for the first time. The clone Naruto would go KCM 2 and would fight Madara, and he would be equal to that of Madara. A little weaker because this is just a clone, but yeah, KCM 2 Naruto and reanimated Madara are equal in power. So this fight, but due to it being a shadow clone, just one hit, it would disappear. But that's when the five Kages would come in to fight Madara, where Madara would destroy them. And while that is happening, Naruto and Guy and Kakashi would be fighting Obito, and Obito's face reveal would happen, which would shock Guy and you could say Kakashi, mostly Kakashi. But anyways, Madara would completely destroy the 5 Kages and reach Obito, where the 10 tails would be formed after Obito absorbs every tail beast except for the QB, and 8 tails inside of Naruto, the Gedomazo, and 10 tails would be born. And that's when the alliance summoning jutsu would happen. But instead of Naruto just shouting alliance summoning jutsu, like everyone would come in and they would have that face off. Naruto and Madara decide that they would have their fight somewhere else. So Naruto and Madara goes a little further than where the alliance and Obito are, and both of them start fighting. Now Naruto unlocks his KCM 2 and starts fight. Naruto unlocks his KCM 2 and starts fighting Madara, where anyways, Madara, I mean, yeah, as I said, Madara and Naruto with KCM 2 would start fighting, and since they both will be equal, this fight would be a lot more destruction. Now let's go towards where Sasuke and Itachi are. Now, after Sasuke and Itachi would find Kabuto and start fighting them. Both Naruto and Itachi and Sasuke would fight Kabuto just like in canon, because Itachi is as strong as he was in canon, and Sasuke is a little bit stronger than he was in canon. But anyways, Itachi and Sasuke would defeat Kabuto, and Itachi would genjutsu Kabuto, to rethink his life, and Orochimaru would be revived. Now, how would Orochimaru be revived if the Tochka blade was never used? Simple. Orochimaru was sealed inside. Kabuto absorbed Orochimaru's body, and Itachi used it to revive Orochimaru, as well as put Orochimaru on a genjutsu to make him loyal to the village. Now after that, Orochimaru and Itachi would say his final goodbyes to Sasuke, and Kabuto would be left there while Sasuke would bring Orochimaru wherever he would go, that being the Uzumaki place. I forgot that. Yeah, I think it was the Uzumaki clan, and there he would revive the. Let's say he would basically use the summoning jutsu. I forgot the death summoning. What was it called? Yes, the reincarnation summoning, summoning the first Hokage, second Hokage, and the fourth Hokage. Remember, the third Hokage didn't die during the Konoha arc. What it's called? Yeah, the arc where Orochimaru decides to attack Konoha. Yeah, that arc. Or Sarutobi didn't. The third Hokage didn't die, so he's still alive and he's fighting the war currently. Anyways, Madara and Naruto would decide to stop fighting, and Madara would just jump back to the 10 tails, while Naruto would be in the. I could say Naruto would be in the damn place where Naruto would be in front of the alliance, and that's when Obito would decide to use the 10 tails chakra rod, throwing it everywhere, killing some of the people, and also aiming it at Naruto. But Hiruzen would jump in, sacrificing himself for Naruto, and Hiruzen would be lying there in Naruto's arm, and Hiruzen would apologize for all the suffering that Naruto has been. He promised his mother that he would look after Naruto, but he never did. And due to that, Naruto had to remove his emotions. People tortured him and that kind of stuff, and everyone is listening to it. Okay, they are not whispering. Third Hokage is listening to every single one of them, and Konoha's ninjas are ashamed because they tortured their hero. And Hiruzen, while dying and crying, asks Naruto's forgiveness, and Naruto just says, "Damn, you're troublesome, GG." And this indicates that Naruto forgave Hiruzen, because Naruto never called Hiruzen GG, which Hiruzen wanted Naruto to call him, and since Naruto's called him GG, Hiruzen can finally die happy. And that's when Obito would decide emotionless enough, and he would use a tail beast bomb to attack everyone. But that's when Minato would jump in and have his badass entry, and all the other three Kages would come in, and all three Kages would see Hiruzen's dead body and pay their wishes, pay their remorses, and they would get ready to battle. Now after that, the Kage would the three Kages would do the summoning with Naruto jumping in because he has Naruto using a shadow clone to jump in, where because he has his father's memories, he can also do the seal. I forgot for the fourth great seal. I forgot what the seal was. Basically, like sealing the 10 tails into the ground, but the 10 tails would do the fake creatures, and Naruto and Sasuke would fight them, and Karin and Sakura would use the Byakugo seal, destroying many of them. But then that's when Madara and Hashirama would decide to have their whole fight, where them fighting the same thing, and Naruto, Sasuke, and Tobirama and Minato would go and fight Obito, and that fight would lead into Obito absorbing the 10 tails, making Jubito. Now that's when Naruto would go KCM 2. Now Naruto has been fighting with KCM 1 this whole time, except for Madara, him fighting with Madara. So he would go KCM 2 with Sage mode. So Naruto KCM 2 Sage mode versus Jubito would happen, which would be a little bit of destruction because both of them are really strong people and they both are equal to each other instead of Jubito being stronger, because Naruto is absorbing nature energy which is surrounding Obito and stuff like that, absorbing him and gaining and getting stronger by the second. Then Sasuke would jump in and both would combo team both Naruto, and Naruto would release his Biju form, the Biju avatar for the first time, and Sasuke would have unleashed his complete Susanoo, and both of them would use that move they did against in canon, but instead of using the other people, they would just instead of using the other Genins to make Rasengans and throw it at Obito, both Naruto and Sasuke would just defeat Obito and extract the Bijus, and that is when Madara would defeat Hashirama, and Zetsu would jump in to a defeated Obito and control him. Now Zetsu with Obito's body in hand would revive Madara, and Madara would absorb Hashirama and getting the Sage mode inside of him, giving him powerful, but Madara is blind currently. And that's when Sasuke and Naruto would jump in while Madara destroys the alliance with the Bijus. Naruto, while fighting Madara, would dodge one attack and kick Naruto up ahead. And before Naruto could even react, Madara would be in front of him and extract Kurama and throw it inside the Biju. You could say what it's called. The half to 10 tails are now the Gedomazo, and Sasuke would decide to after seeing Naruto just almost die, and he knows that if Biju gets extracted, the user dies. Sasuke would get angry and try to attack Madara, but Madara would stop him and Sasuke would get stabbed. And that's when Naruto would be falling, but Gaara would save him, and with Karin's help, they would start healing him, but Minato would come then, and Minato would seal Kurama inside Naruto, so no Obito helping them this time, because I don't think Obito would. And Sasuke, who is down for the count, Jugo, Suigetsu, and Jugo, Suigetsu, and Sakura would heal. They'll try to heal. You could say Sakura would heal Sasuke, but that's when Kabuto would come in and give him some of Hashirama's cells. Now Madara would absorb the complete 10 tails, making him the new 10 tails in the completed 10 tails in Jinchuriki, or Jubi Madara if it's called. That's when Might Guy would jump in and he would activate the 10 tails, and the Madara versus 8 gates Might Guy would happen. And at the same time, Naruto and Sasuke would meet the Sage of 6 Paths, and they would learn about Ashura and Indra's reincarnation. But the Sage of 6 Paths would tell them that since Sasuke never went in the dark side, and Naruto is currently in the dark side but not fully dark to rebel against anyone, both of them balanced each other, and the Ashura and Indra path were stopped, meaning the reincarnations will not be possible anymore because both of them accept each other as friends. And what is his name? Yeah, Madara. I mean, what is his name? Yeah, Sage of Six Path would give each of them the Sun Seal and the Moon Seal respectively, and a Six Path Sage mode Naruto and the Six Path Naruto and the Six Path Sasuke would be born, with Sasuke having the Renegon and Naruto having Six Path Sage mode, and Naruto would stop Madara from killing Might Guy, and he would heal Might Guy with his superior medical ninjutsu, and he would give it to Lee, and Lee would take him out, and that's when Sasuke would come in, and both of them would fight Jubi Madara. Now this fight would relatively go the same, but due to Sasuke and Naruto both being stronger than in canon a lot, because what is his name? Sage of Six Path wanted both of them to be equal, so he gave much more power to Sasuke rather than Naruto, so they could have like an equal standing. But it's not gonna be there for long. So, anyways, Naruto and Sasuke would fight Madara, which would lead into Infinite Tsukiyomi, which I don't think they would really be able to stop it, because Madara is growing strong as well during the fight, but it would still lead to the Infinite Tsukiyomi, and Naruto and Sasuke and Kakashi would only stop it, and after the only be the ones awake, instead of all of them being in Genjutsu and the three Hokages somewhere, and after getting out of the Susanoo, Madara would do the, I forgot, the meteor shower where Sasuke and Naruto would destroy them. But that's when Madara would take this opportunity to get the second eye, and Madara would steal Kakashi's Obito eye, and that's when Black Zetsu with Obito's body would stab Madara in the back, and that would create Kaguya with them spitting out what is his name, Obito's body, and Naruto, Kakashi would run to Obito and help him. But that's when Naruto and Sasuke and Kakashi versus Kaguya would happen, and the dimensional hopping would also happen. And due to all of this, Obito being with Kakashi at this point, Obito would also help Kakashi with them using the Kamui, and due to Sasuke having a much more easier time sensing, because Karin helped him with that actually, he's able to sense where Naruto is with the seals there that he has in his hand, and he's able to use his Renegon's dimensional hopping abilities to reach Naruto, so Obito doesn't have to fully go ahead, and since Sakura isn't here, I'm making a correspondence. Anyways, Obito would still sacrifice himself, while for Naruto and Kakashi would also sacrifice himself for Sasuke, jumping in front of Sasuke. This would lead into Obito giving Kakashi his other MS, and the DMS Kakashi would be born. And with DMS Kakashi and a superpower and a stronger Naruto and Sasuke will both defeat Kaguya and eventually seal her, and that is it, the peace for the world. Since Naruto and Sasuke don't have any hatred for each other, they won't fight, meaning they have accepted the fact that they are like brothers or something, instead of like fighting it out and then accepting that Naruto is stronger. Sasuke already knows that Naruto is stronger than him, so he really doesn't any fight, meaning Naruto and Sasuke get to keep their hands as well as the seal, meaning they also keep their sage modes, their own specific sage six-path powers. And after 2 years would pass, where Naruto and Karin would be engaged, and Sasuke and Sakura would be engaged. And the movie The Last would happen with Hinabi getting attacked, and Hinata would team up with Team 7 to fight to get Hinabi, and that they would meet Toneri, and Jugo would be the one leaving behind. So when the meteorite is attacked, it would be destroyed by Jugo. And Naruto would completely bop Toneri even before Toneri would ask Hinata to marry her. And this would, since Naruto hasn't killed Toneri would likely ally himself to the earth, and then Naruto and Karin marry each other. Now, normally I would have left it here, but since this is the finale of What If Naruto had Immortality, I'm going to the Boruto saga, motherfuckers. So, anyways, the first is no Hokage Naruto. Number one, since Naruto really doesn't have any dream to become Hokage, he won't become Hokage. Kakashi would be the sixth Hokage still, and he would pressure Naruto to become Hokage, but Naruto would quickly deny, because why would he become Hokage to these people who hurt him? Anyways, Boruto and Himawari would be born, but Boruto would be 75% Uzumaki and 25% Namikaze. And Himawari would not be named Himawari because the name was deprived from Hinata's mother, and since Naruto isn't married Hinata, there's no Himawari. Instead of the name Himawari, the daughter would be named Kushina, who looked like Kushina from adult self with whiskers. But Boruto would, since Boruto doesn't have Hyuga blood, he wouldn't have Jogan, but he would have something else, and that would be chakra chains. And due to Naruto having his mother's memories and knowing how to use chakra chains, as well as Karin also having chakra chains, both of them would help Boruto control it. Anyways, Boruto doesn't hate his father since his father isn't, well, Hokage, and doesn't neglect him, and his father loves Boruto and Kushina a lot, and this family is very peaceful, with Jogo being their bodyguard, and Jogo has a disciple, that being Konohamaru. Now, during the pain arc, Jogo helped Konohamaru defeat one of the pains. This caused Konohamaru to want to be trained by Jogo, and Jogo would take a liking to this kid and he would train him, and yeah, that would be important. So, due to Jogo being the one training Konohamaru instead of Naruto, Konohamaru wouldn't learn the Rasengan as well as the Torch Summoning, but he would be much stronger in his base form, as well as learning Sage Mode, because Jogo would have taught him how to gather nature energy in his body. So he would learn the Monkey Sage Mode as well as have the Monkey Contract. So that's cool for Konohamaru, I guess. Sasuke and Sakura would have Sarada, but also a new kid named Itachi. I think you guys know why. Sasuke wouldn't roam around the world because he doesn't have to have a redemption arc, because he never went with Orochimaru. So that means that is the reason for another child. And since Sasuke isn't aware, means the whole Sasuke isn't just going around the town going around the world. Sarda doesn't have any suspicion that his mother is his mother, but she likes her family very much. So the first arc is the Uchiha, the fake Uchiha arc, where Kakashi would be informed about fake Uchihas, and Sasuke and Naruto would be sent to deal with it. But Sarda also wants to come to know about what these people are, and Sasuke thinks that she does deserve knowing it, because she's going to be she's the heir of the Uzumaki Uchiha clan, and Boruto is the heir of the Uzumaki clan, not the Hyuga clan, the Uzumaki clan. So but Boruto won't be there, but only Sarada would be there, going with Naruto and Sasuke. This would and even Kakashi would tag along, because why not? And Naruto and Sasuke would learn about Shin and the experiments that has been going on, and yeah, that would lead to Sasuke getting pissed, Naruto getting pissed, and would destroy Shin, as well as save the you could say, as well as save the kids. Now Sarada, seeing both Naruto and Sasuke destroying Shin like that, would unlock her Sharingan, kind of scared about how her parents are being like this. But Sakura, who is with them, would start telling Sarada about how Sasuke's life was, and Boruto, who just tagged along with Sakura more or less, because he wanted to know where his father was going, would also hear this, and he would realize his father has suffered a lot, much more than he gave him credit for, because he doesn't even want to imagine how his father survived all the tortures that he had given. Anyways, the new team 7 would be formed with Mizuki would also be there because since Orochimaru is still alive, Orochimaru would make a fake. I mean, son. He would make his son, and Mizuki would be born, and Mizuki would have a weird, really weird obsession with Boruto, but that's not really a thing. And they would become Team 7 and they would participate in the Chunin exams. Now, since Naruto is in the Hokage, nor Boruto doesn't want to impress his father. He wants to impress his father, but not by different means. Meaning, he doesn't go, and since Naruto is helping Boruto with his training, he doesn't go and train with Sasuke. Meaning, Boruto is able to get the Vanishing Rasengan, which Naruto just copies instantly and uses it against him. But Naruto wouldn't tell him that he already knew. He didn't know that, and he had to copy him. Naruto doesn't want Boruto to become more confident, like creating jutsus or something. But anyways, Sarada would be trained by her father in the art of Sharingan, and Momoshiki would be trained by his father in the art of snakes and Sage Mode, I guess. And after that, the Momoshiki arc would start with the Chunin exams mostly going exactly the same, with Team 7 dominating them, and instead of Boruto using tools which to defeat Shikadai, Boruto would use his own shadow clones which he knows to defeat Shikadai, and that's when the Momoshiki arc will start, with Naruto being in the middle when he would sense someone up in the crowds and he would jump in front of Boruto tanking an attack, and that's when the Momoshiki arc would start. Now Sasuke would also jump in and Sarada would be like run towards Boruto, and now after Momoshiki introduces himself as Momoshiki and asks about Kaguya, and Naruto just completely tells her that they sealed him. That's when Momoshiki starts attacking. Momoshiki and Ishiki, Momoshiki and Kinshiki. Sorry, Momoshiki and Kinshiki would attack Naruto and Sasuke, with Naruto and Sasuke taking each other, and Sarada and Karin like protecting both their sons, both son and daughter, and Boruto and Sarada just see the difference between them and Naruto and Sasuke. Since Sasuke doesn't still has an arm as well as a six part sage mode power, he's able to go on toe to toe with Kinshiki and eventually defeat him. Not defeat him, but he is able to go toe on toe with Kinshiki and stall him while Naruto fights Momoshiki and destroys him. This doesn't sit well with Momoshiki, and he would absorb Kinshiki as a chakra food, and he would gain his power boost, and Naruto and Sasuke would team up against Momoshiki, completely destroying him, and Naruto would have a big Rasengan and fire towards Momoshiki, killing him, but not before Momoshiki gives him a gift. Hell yeah, Naruto gets the Karma Seal. I think Boruto didn't use it to the full potential. It would have been that Naruto would have used it. So I think Boruto would, since Boruto doesn't really have the Jogan at this point, I really don't think that Boruto would really want. Boruto should really get the Karma Seal. But Naruto getting the Karma Seal has a side effect. Since now, due to the Karma Seals, how the Karma Seals work is that the Otsutsuki soul would be inside of Naruto. And since Naruto has already sealed something inside of him, all Naruto needed to do was go to his mindscape, and he would see Kurama against Momoshiki, and both Kurama and Naruto would tag team Momoshiki and kill him, destroying the soul and leaving the chakra behind. And the chakra would absorb into Naruto's chakra, giving him a big chakra boost, as well as giving the blood inside of him, the Otsutsuki blood, mixing him with Uzumaki and Namikaze blood, creating something. And that would be the Jogan. Oh hell yeah, Naruto's fucking getting the Jogan, baby. And Naruto has complete control over the Karma Seal, meaning he can go to the horn where he can have the designs in his hand, as well as go to the horn mode, and he can have the Renegan ability of Momoshiki. Now that is an awesome thing, right? Hell yeah. Now after this, Boruto and Team 7 would have their own storyline, but we are not going to focus on them. They would have the fight between Ao and all of this stuff, but Naruto, would start training with Sasuke to trains with the seal, and after he finds out that he can use the Ranegan and the new dojutsu called the Jogan, and Sasuke being the experienced dojutsu user would help Naruto have better control over it, and Naruto and Sasuke would reminisce about like trainings and stuff like that. But if Naruto and Sasuke fought, the difference is still high because Naruto has a new boost with his chakra level as well as his new power that he has new dojutsus. And yeah, the most travel would be arc. Then there would be the Ishiki arc, basically the time travel arc where Boruto and Sasuke would go towards the past, but this wouldn't happen because number one, Naruto is the one training Boruto, not Sasuke. Number two, Naruto and Sasuke would just bope Ishiki to completely destroy Ishiki without even letting him go to the past. Meaning the past really doesn't happen. The whole memory wiping thing and seeing his father, understanding his father doesn't really happen because that was a character development for Boruto. Since Boruto already got his character development, that really doesn't happen. And after that comes the Kara arc. Now in the Kara arc, mostly everything is the same, meaning Kawaki is found during the air cache, and Team 7 finds Kawaki in the air cache, and Kawaki fights the guy and destroys him. But when the blast comes in, since Boruto doesn't have any the Kama seal, he can't absorb it, so he puts chakra into his pendant, if not pendant, that locket, the necklace that he has given by his father. It resembles a kunai, and in a flash, a yellow flash, someone comes in and blocks the attack, and that is Naruto. And you might be guessing, yes, Naruto has given his son the you could say flying Raijin seal, so if Boruto is ever in trouble, Naruto can just teleport in. And since Kawaki gets knocked out because of this black, Naruto brings Kawaki to the hospital where Kawaki is nurtured, and when Kawaki wakes up, he explains what he is, and he tries to escape, but Naruto beats him to it, and Naruto brings him to his house where Kawaki is slowly adopted. And Kari helps him and beats the shit out of him because she isn't Hinata, who's like sweet and innocent. Karin is Sakura beating the shit out of the son if needed. And Kawaki gets Kawaki likes Naruto, and Kawaki also gets his emotional distress about Naruto by Kurama, and Kawaki respects Naruto even more because number one, basically Kawaki got the same treatment almost the same treatment that Naruto got. Number one, and number two, that's it. Yeah, but Kawaki even respects Naruto even more, and this would relate to Kawaki being trained by Naruto, and Boruto. Boruto and Naruto would train instead of and Sasuke would train Sarada, and that's when Jigen would gets summoned in to get Sasuke. Let's say Kawaki and Naruto would brings Jigen to another place with Jigen's have teleporting ability, and Sasuke would come in, and Naruto and Sasuke would have that battle, which Jigen would still win because Jigen is still stronger than all of them. Because Jigen was easily dominating the entire fight, and he would still dominate the entire fight even if Naruto and Sasuke is much stronger than the canon itself. Meaning the Team 7 would have the saving arc where Sarada, Mitsuki, Kawaki, and Boruto all would team up to save the Naruto, and Sasuke would be sent back to Konoha where he relays the information to Team 7. And Team 7 would save Naruto just like in canon, but since Boruto isn't Boroshiki, he wouldn't be able to destroy him. But there is something I forgot to mention. During Kawaki training, Naruto realized that Kawaki has a seal inside of him. And after Naruto asking Kawaki about it and learning what it does, here he realizes that there's a soul inside of him, and he would bring Sasuke to extract the soul, and Sasuke would use his Rinnegan abilities to extract the soul of Ishiki and put it in the King of Hell, meaning the Otsutsuki chakra would only be remained in Kawaki's body, and with Kawaki getting trained by Naruto, he would also tell Naruto about the observing seal, which Naruto would find it cool, but still Naru, I mean, what is his name? Kawaki would have the abilities of Ishiki, meaning the Dojutsu and the Byakugan. Since Naruto, I mean, what did it say? Ishiki, I mean, Kawaki is not that of a bloodline. He's just normal kid, meaning he won't have any mutation, so he won't have any Jogan. He would just have the Byakugan, and yeah, instead of Boruto going like Berserk Borushiki, it would be Kawashiki. Yeah, Kawashiki, instead of having full, Kawashiki would have full control over his Kama seal, and he would destroy the guard and take Naruto and seal him. And after that, Naruto would fight and due to this, the fake Toad Sage, I forgot what its name, but the fake Jiraiya, the guy made by Amado, would fight Ishiki and would Jigen and Jigen would die, revealing Ishiki. That would not release Kawaki's curse mark because Kamasil, because well, Ishiki doesn't really have a soul inside Kawaki. The only chakra is remaining, meaning it won't just vanish. Anyways, that's when Ishiki would attack Konoha, where Naruto would instantly like be there and fight Naruto would have fight Jigen, and both of them would be teleported, and Sasuke would teleport both of them into a different state with Boruto and Kawaki in tow, and that's when Ishiki would dominate all four of them, and he would try to implant his soul into Kawaki, but that's when Naruto would finally unlock the Baryon mode. Now the Baryon mode is different because Naruto has the curse seal. I mean, why do I say the curse seal over and over again? Now, due to Naruto having the Kama seal, it's absorbing the nuclear reaction and like feeding it over and over again like a cycle. Meaning, Naruto can get exhausted, but Kurama's life force doesn't get off. Meaning, Kurama doesn't die. Meaning, the Baryon mode, with Naruto's Baryon mode, he completely dominates the fight between Ishiki, and since this Baryon mode doesn't have like the problem of dying, Naruto completely destroys Ishiki, killing him, freeing Kawaki from the grasp of Ishiki forever, and yeah, all the group would go back. Now Delta and Code and Code, Eva and Damon, and Naruto due to his new Baryon mode would completely destroy all three of them, completely destroying Kara and providing new peace. But this peace would only last for 5 years. After the 5 years, a war will start, and Naruto would lead the war at age 37. This war would be between the Otsutsuki clan and the Earth. The entirety of the Otsutsuki clan, who has been absorbing like many planets, have decided that Earth is too dangerous to risk, so they would eliminate it. But Naruto would not want it, so he would start fighting. The war would continue on with Sasuke getting another Rinnegan with the help of Naruto, because Sasuke needs more Asura chakra to unlock the second Rinnegan. Kawaki masters his Kama seal, giving him the abilities of the mass reduction eye. I forgot what its name was. Yeah, I'm sorry, it can't control mass, but it can basically shrink objects. Yeah, Kawaki gets that, and also gets the Byakugan, meaning he's a lot more powerful. And Boruto, since he doesn't have the Kama seal nor the Jogan, he has to compete in the war some way. So that's why he takes up seals in memory of his grandfather and father, and with Boruto and Karin there to teach him, he becomes a seal master, getting to know the Flying Raijin, which helps the war a lot. But still, the war lasts 5 years. Later, the war would last 5 years till the end, and Naruto would have a Rasengan in his hand, driving it straight through a injured, basically almost death Otsutsuki god, and the Otsutsuki god would die, but not before trying to have his last contingency plan, putting a Kama seal into Naruto. Naruto just sighs because, well, this has happened to him a lot of time, and him and Kurama would just go back to his mindscape and kill the Otsutsuki god once and for all, getting his Otsutsuki blood as well as his abilities into himself, which would power him greatly again. Now, in these 5 years, he has fought many Otsutsukis, and there's Otsutsukis always thought that using the Kama seal they would be able to, well, control him, but with him and Kurama inside his mindscape, he would also always destroy them and absorb their abilities as well as blood. But due to this, Naruto's body would change into that of Otsutsuki, but he would use a transformation jutsu to keep himself normal. But in this war, many people have died. Sasuke, Sakura, Karin, Boruto, Kawaki, Kushina, Sarada, and Itachi. Every person he cared about, Kakashi sensei, Yamada sensei, Jugo, and Suigetsu, every single one he cared about, every person died, only for list survivors. And these peoples are peoples of the chakra based. Basically every human being who can use chakra are dead because of a jutsu that Otsutsuki used, which absorbs every chakra. Only Naruto was able to kill him, but Naruto has already buried all of his friends, all of his important ones, and has gone through the emotions. Now Naruto's mostly emotional, but with someone to talk to, and that is Kurama. Now Naruto would go back to Earth. He flies to Earthbook, and yes, Naruto knows flies because he has absorbed so many Otsutsukis, and he has a lot of blood in his body. Otsutsuki's blood in his body, that he can easily fly without even thinking about it. And he would reach Earth, where he would use his dojutsu and sensing powers to find out all the survivors and bring them to one place, that being the Leaf Village. Now Naruto has every dojutsu known to mankind: the Ketsurigan, the Sharingan, the Byakugan, the Mangekyo Sharingan, the Renegan, the Jogan. Basically every dojutsu that the world has ever known, Naruto has it. And also Naruto has every jutsu the mankind has ever learnt, every single one of them. Naruto currently has a Renegan in his face, and that Renegan resembles Sasuke's one, because Sasuke, while dying, gave Naruto his Renegan so Naruto could defeat his adversaries. But Naruto, with his weird blood cells, blood cells, he was able to activate and deactivate the Renegan at will, meaning he just doesn't need to have the Renegan on at all time. After that, Naruto would gather all the non-chakra users together and tell them to live on. He would destroy every single jutsu the mankind has ever learned. Not destroyed, every single artifacts. Then he would call all the bijus to a safe location, that the 1 to 8 tails, and absorb them into himself, as well as the Gedo statue, and becoming the second sage of 6 paths. And Naruto becomes God. A human God, a human that rose power so high that he became God. And Naruto flies away in the atmosphere and just looks back to his world and says, "Goodbye, my home." And Naruto leaves Earth, flies away, and that is where we're gonna leave for this episode, guys. The Boruto side of things, it was really difficult to do it, because I wanted Naruto to have a weird ending. I thought of Naruto to have a ending where everyone has died due to old age, but I thought the war between the Otsutsuki would be a much better ending for the characters that we know and love. Died in battle, because that's the honor of the shinobi. So that's that. And this is the first series where I've completely completed it. I've finally completed every series that I've known of. Now the next what if is going to be, what if Pikachu trained Ash? Now you might be knowing what the fuck is Pikachu, how the fuck can Pikachu train Ash? Well, you have to see in the next episode. The next episode would be well in YouTube. I think in 3 or 4 days, because I have to have the script ready, more or less. I have the script ready, but I still need to make some corrections. So yeah, that's all this. I'm blabbering a lot. I know that I'm blabbering a lot, but anyways, that's all for this episode, guys. If you guys like this video, like, share, subscribe, do the necessary stuff. And if you don't, I can understand. Peace out.